test. I don't run regular. All the gas that's stored is high test. It lasts longer. I do have two cycle mixed in with it because it just, to me, it just helps. Even though there's oil, it helps, and it burns well. I don't see any problems with it. If anything, I even get a little bit better burn with it. So so at that point, I normally keep 30 gallons. Now, if we haven't used it in a year, but we usually do because between the yard tractor, the not so much the John Deere, but the lawn tractor, the lawn mower, the weed whacker when it's working, the chainsaws, we burn the gas anyway. That's why I put two cycle in everything, so I don't have to worry about, wait a minute, do I have it in that one or do I not? Everything gets two cycle. And at that point, if there's anything that's left over, I throw it in one of the vans, and then I refill the tanks. That's all. If the van's down and I got 7, 8 gallons, 10 gallons here, I'll put it in the van. And then when I take the cans over to fill them, I'll fill a van up with the rest of the fresh gas. It burns. It's not a big deal, But I do know that I'm going to want to have a little bit more fuel because 30 gallons, is basically going to get me through about a day and a half. Now the other thing I can do, however now is not the time, is to get a hold of a friend of mine. And even though he's a friend of mine, I'm not going to expect him to drop everything. But because he is a friend, I'll deal with him before I deal with somebody else. And I won't ask for any more. I won't, look for any deals. It's you do what you got to do. That's all there is to it. If you want to give a deal, give a deal. If you don't want to give a deal, don't. Right? I'm going to have to spend it one way or the other. I just want to give it to a friend. As long as it's a friend that I know that I can trust, and not a friend that's going to say, well, he's a friend, so I can get away with this, Nah. Anyway, I'm thinking about buying another one. Maybe even a little bit bigger, so it'll run easier, if that's the word I'm looking for. I won't be putting a strain on it, so it'll run better, last longer. Just my thoughts. So I may go a couple K bigger, and then I may even have it tied into the natural gas, so I don't have to keep running back and forth to the gas station. A friend of mine down the street, he's also a brother in the Masons, and he had one put in last year, and I forgot what he said it cost him, but it starts up, I think he said every week, and runs and does a diagnostic, to make sure everything's working properly, everything checks out okay, puts a small load on it. Running it will make sure that your engine's running and everything is smoothly, but you still want to put some type of a load on it to make sure that the generator portion of it is working properly. Yeah, I mean, even if you just take a power drill and plug it in and drill something, or put a 150 watt light bulb in a lamp and plug it in and let it run, something, just to keep that generator portion of it sparked. But he had it all hooked up. They tied it into natural gas. They tied it into the main breaker, of the house, which I have, like I did. However, they did put a switch on it that automatically shuts down the main when the thing starts. Now, mine, I do have a switch, but it's not automatic. the generator won't start until I switch it. But I have to manually switch it. And that's a twofold. One is so that nobody gets electrocuted working on the pole, and the other is I don't blow up my generator. Because if the generator does decide to start, which it probably won't, if there's too big of a load on it, it's not going to start. So you have to make sure that everything is kind of turned down or off when you first start it. So, but if it does start and you're overloading it and it doesn't shut off, you're going to burn it up. So it will shut off eventually when it burns up on you. Alright, now I'm going to take this and we're going to make sure that this is going to stay in place. More so for the wires. I know the rest of it's going to stay in place because it's bolted in. The wires are soldered on. Now what do I do with my... Here we are. I think I told you I bought like a 10-pound box of these things. I forgot the brand on them, but I'm going to tell you, they work really good. I might as well just fill this up. There I go with that mine as well again. This is mine as well. So why do I say mine as well? I might as well fill it up. Hey, the wife is home. But she didn't call me. Now wait a minute. I don't want you bringing things in the house without me. She's feeling better now, so she wants to start doing things, which is fine. I don't want her to be doing them without me. Okay, so now let's put this back on here like so, Ho, ho, ho. That's hot, like so. Now here's the little screw. Now, like I said earlier, all this is like an adapter. It adapts it from the 75 ohm F connector coax to wire. And if I can, I'm gonna have to do it. And I'm not going to fight with this every time I do this. Here we are. I thought I brought one out here. Last night, I gotta check the internet and the weather. Last night, about 11:30 or so, it sounded like a blooming tornado went through here. A blooming tornado? What's that? Wait a minute, another little piece? No, wow. Wow, it's a little bridge. No, if I save that, I'll never find it anyway. The wife is in the bedroom, and she's doing something on her tablet. I'm on the couch watching TV and trying to figure out what's going on with YouTube. And then I hear, and it just started getting louder and louder. And I'm thinking, man, is that a train? Now, occasionally, if a granite train goes through here from the quarry, which is down in the, hey baby.
Hey, I'm back.
No, no, Huh. Okay. Wife's back. I had to turn it off. She was coming in, and she wanted to talk about her good deals. Sometimes she does pretty good with that stuff. She went to the store and she bought. They only had 16 bottles. Oh, I shouldn't have done this. You know what I did and I shouldn't have done? I crazy glued it closed. I have it closed with the screw. But if I have to get in there to fix anything now, I can't. Well, what are you going to do? You live and learn. You live and learn. And this pump bottle doesn't want to work anymore. So, when I was dealing with my oil and lubricant, I was trying different bottles because the chemicals have a habit of eating away at everything. And this one supplier said, "No, this is good for everything." Yeah, the glass is, but the pumper cracked out after a while. So, all right, so here's what I have. And this one is the hot one. So what I'm going to do, does it really make a difference? Like I said before, no. I want to know. I want to know. Actually, I'm not going to do this. I was going to put red and black, but then if somebody were to look at this, they may decide to think, oh, it's power, and put 12 volts on it. So you got to think about what other people are going to see when they look at it. There. That's why if you're working on your car, and if you're running negative, positive, well, you know what, I'm going to do this because it really doesn't make too much of a difference. Nobody's going to see this but me anyway. And if they do, that means they're just going to have voltage on that. There. If you're working on your car, or 12 volts, or any type of wiring, make sure the wiring that you use is the same color as you're working on. Because if you're not working on it and somebody else has to work on it, and you change the color on it, there's going to cost you an arm and a leg. Because it's going to take them longer to figure it out, and there's a strong possibility that they're going to cause more damage while trying to figure it out. And you never want to run thinner wire. You always want to run the same or heavier, depending on how long it's going to be. Now, what am I going to do here, you ask? Well, I want to secure these a little bit on the outside, and I don't want to just put a wire tie on them, which I could, but I don't want to. I want to put something between them, because when I do this, even though I have it glued to bejesus in here, I don't want to be putting pressure on the inside to open them and pull them off the connector. So I like to have a little something right here to tie it with. And I know exactly what I want. I just got to figure out what the hell I did with it. I do have it. I just got to cut it a little bit. Where the hell did I? Here we are. Here we are. Good. Goody, 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 goody. Oh, sure. I made that one so small it fell down in the track. Okay. Let's see. I think I got it here though. I can go a little heavier. Alright, go a little bit heavier. That should do it right there. Okay, so now I can put this in here like so, and now I can tighten that up like that. Yeah, I can. Or can I? Hello? Let me get it started first. There. Good. That's what I like. I'll move it up just a hair. I got to get another pair of cutters because these are crapped out. They're no longer joining all the way, and there's no room anywhere to cut them down enough to where they'll close up on one another. There. Good. Okay, so now I got this little piece of you notice I've been having problems today with names and numbers and product. Couldn't even think of a connector. I still can't remember the name of the reducer. SR? No. I'll have to look now. It's going to drive me nuts. This is almost like a yeah, like a wonder board. You know, it doesn't rust, fall apart, swell up, soak up water. Okay, so we're done with this, and they're marked. Now, this is the one that I just made. I will show you the one that you can buy that comes with the antenna that I bought. And again, I'm not knocking the antenna. Like anything else, the guy is making antennas, he's buying product to use, and he's relying on that product to do its job. And now, this was my first cup of coffee today, and I just finished it, and it is 1:49. So, I'm going to make a cup of tea. I don't use filtered water for coffee or tea. I just use it for drinking. So, put a little water in there. Let me see. Green. a green tea bag today. Do I want ginger or do I want cinnamon? I'm gonna go ginger today. Hey, cutie. I'm making a cup of tea. You want a cup?
No.
Alright, now, this is a 75 ohm matching. Well, sometimes they call them matching transformers, but there's no transformer in this one. These connectors go where? I got a whole bunch of these someplace. I want to label this. I know what it is, but I want to label it. So, my wife will know what it is. And I got to do a video on the generator anyway. So when I do that, I want to do a video on the generator so that if I'm not home and I'm out on a respond or something and the wife loses power, the first thing I tell her to do is to call me and let me know, because I can always find a replacement and be here within minutes. Or I can just tape off the scene if I have to and get here. So I want her to know that she, the house, the boys come first. But as many as times as I've told her and shown her how to use the generator, she forgets. I know. Hold on. I can share one side real quick. Now I know that she doesn't use it that much, so you know, okay. You know, she's got other things on her mind, and I can understand that. I mean, if she did it 2 or 3 times, she would probably know. But because she doesn't, I tell her, and then I do it. Well, you know, you got to do it yourself in order to know what you're doing. So, all right. So I'm going to do a video on the generator for her on how to start it, because there's 2 ways you can actually start this generator, as well as 3 ways of starting it if by chance you have a problem with the battery. And this is the way she has it, and I'm going to put it on a video. I bought a hard drive for her. It's a portable hard drive, a 1 terabyte or gigabyte, terabyte, whatever you want to call it. It's a portable, self-booting, USB, blah 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 blah. And I started putting videos together on certain things throughout the house and how to winterize the power washer and how to winterize the other generator, basically things that are how to how to winterize the lawnmower, the yard tractors, the gas, how to mix it, and and they're different videos. They're all 5-10 minutes long. Basically to the point. Step by step instructions. So I started that. And I did that for two reasons. One is if I'm not here and she has to do it until I get here, or if something does happen to where I'm no longer here, she has something to go by. A lot of us don't think of things like that, and we really should. So. Alright, now this is a charger for this phone. I am missing a USB cable. And I can't figure out where the hell it is. I've got the one plugged into the 360 camera. That takes that USB 3, like the iPhone type thing. So that's that one. Then there's the other one that goes into the older Samsungs, where it's a little bit bigger on one side than the other. And then I have these, which is also for a Samsung, to prevent you from putting it in upside down or backwards. I don't know if there's actually any connection to the other one. It looks like there may be. So it may be used for video or something. I don't know. But this is not really needed. However, I have it here. Because the phone here does have that plug on it. But I don't like reaching for this one because if I have another phone, like the camera for instance up here, takes the older style plug. And if I needed it in a hurry, I can't just grab this one because this is only working on one thing, the phone. It's proprietary to the phone. And I hate it when they do things like that. I hate for things to be, if I put it up there, I'll forget about it completely. I don't want to do that. I hate when things are proprietary to one thing. I think it's just a greed, on the company's part. Let's just do this so they have to buy our stuff. I've actually seen two businesses go out of business because of that. Well, not just that. They had other problems too, but that was one of their main problems. And I found that out later. Alright, let's see here. I just made the tea. Everything seems to be hot and melted. However, okay, I still have milk. That's good. I think the tea is hot. It is. However, I need a little bit of sweetness. I need a little sweetness. I know, guys, I'm sweet enough. Oh, I gotta get trash bags to put in my trash cans here. All right, now, where is that? Where? Where? Hello? Oh, I used that table saw the other day. Whoa! The difference in the quality. Now that saw is old. I forgot what they actually consider it being. It's vintage. This one I had a lot of work going on it. So I says, let me use that one real quick because there was nothing on it at the time. And I had to cut a piece of 1/2 inch ply, little piece. and I had to cut it in half. Well, I'll tell you what. I turn that on. It just hums perfection. And that's all there is to it. All right, now there's a few things I got to do, but I wanted to find that cable. I definitely want to find that cable. I'm not going to look for it now. All right, what I want to do, I want to hook up this TV out here. Right there is a good spot for it. However, I need an antenna, or I have to bring it into cable. And I don't remember where the remote is for this, so I got to make sure it's wherever I can reach it to change channels. Now, do I have a splitter over here anywhere? I don't want to really cut into the cable on this if I don't have to, because the cable that we're using is heavy duty cable. And as much as I have everything I need, see, it's right there too. I mean, for me to cut into that, it's not a big deal. But I don't want to, because where does it go? Hold on a minute. Hold on, I'm following that cable, because if that's... Okay, the only place that goes is to the TV. All right. So that's not feeding anything other than the TV. So I can probably cut right into that and just put a splitter on it. I hate to though. I don't like cutting into something if I don't need to. And if I do, maybe I'll do it over here. Yeah, if I do it, I'm going to do it here. And I'll just run a little extra wire. I mean, I can do it up here. Right there I can do it. And then I wouldn't need as much wire coming off of it to go to this. But before I do that, I should make sure that this is going to work. Because I'm not out here on this side as much as I've been lately than I am on that side. So I don't want to, nor do I need to go out and buy another 25-inch or whatever it is over there TV for here. Because I'm not, this would be fine. So what I can do first is hook it up to that over there. Unscrew it from the box, because there's no box on this. So unscrew it from the box and screw the cable directly into this. I should pick up something. And if I do, then I'll cut it and put a T up here. But if I don't, I won't, naturally. See, at one time, the box was just there to give you control of certain channels. If you unscrewed the box and went into the back of the TV, you'd still have channels, just that there would be a few channels that you wouldn't have, the ones that are out of the frequency of the TV. Ginger, yeah. Ginger. Good for acid reflux and indigestion. Good for a lot of stuff. All right. I'm still thinking about this. I mean, they're really not worth saving, but I don't even know what the hell they're called. Pittsburghs? I don't know. They're not hitting anywhere except the tip. This is going to be one long ass video, guys. So I'll let you know ahead of time, because I'm just going to post this because there's so much going on, and especially with me being up the last couple nights trying to figure out this YouTube bullshit. And again, I'm not seeing a lot of your posts, so don't get pissed because if I don't comment on any of your videos. I'm not seeing them all. A couple, like I said earlier, I think I got 7 or 8 through the course of yesterday and this morning. When I looked, I think there was 7 or 8 there in the email side. Now on the bell side, I really don't know how many were there. I scanned down, I tried to scan slow enough so I can see who the hell's there, but yet at the same token I want to try to find out where the hell the bottom was. And I mean, it went back like a year. I mean, it's crazy. There's got to be a way of cleaning that somehow without disconnecting or whatever. What I mean by that is, for those of you who use the bell system, you got those little 3 dots next to each notification, and if you click on that, one of them says hide. It says something else too, but it's hide, and then one is remove from something or whatever, or block, or well, I don't want to block it because I want to see your videos. And if I block it, I'm going to use Valerie for instance. If I block Valerie, I'm not going to get any of her videos on the bell. If I hide it, I'm not going to see it, but I see her next one that comes up. And if I hide it and I want to go back to see it, how do I find it? Or if I've already watched it and I want to get it out of the list now, because I like working the list off, I don't like to have a list there. How do I get rid of it? And again, sometimes, for the most part, I can figure things out, but some things that just drive me cuckoo, and I find lately it's just an interest thing. If I'm not interested, I don't care. Now, even though I am interested, I'm used to the way things used to be. So now, if I got to do a study every time Google makes a move, or one of their people decide to fart, well, we gotta take care of that. We need fart time. I mean, I don't know, but they don't realize they do realize. I think it's a control thing. They're just trying to gain as much information as they can from everybody. I mean, it's a big company. There's millions of people on it. So look at the size of their database. And it's free. So again, what's free? when you download these apps on your phone, they're free. You know, did you ever pay attention? When it asks you, it tells you yes, and then you either have to allow or deny. You're allowing us access to your microphone, your camera, your photos, your files, all right? And then to get that app, you have to agree. If you say deny, it pushes you out. You're not going to be able to, you're not going to use it. So if you say agree, you just gave up everything on your phone for them to get into, including whatever phone numbers it may be in your phone, in your contacts. So now you just gave everybody's phone number out. If I go to an app and I go to download it, and I don't like where it wants to go, I'm not going to download it. I don't care if I need it or not. Google, they want your cell phone number. I don't give it. I'll put in the house number. They try it. Naturally, it's not going to work. And then there's another window comes up underneath. It says other options or something. And I click on that, and then I can put in my home phone. And then my home phone rings almost immediately. Gives me that 6-digit code. And then I put that in. So what do they have? They have my home phone number. Now, yes, they do have access to what's in my computer, so they may have some email addresses and stuff like that. But I try to keep all that separate. It's a little bit more work for me if I want to email somebody, because I have to go into a different folder to get it. It's not... Well, that reminds me. I got to do that too. Hey, Tuck, you got a Chewy, huh, buddy? You got a yogurt stick. Yeah, you got a yogurt stick. Yeah. How's my little buddy doing? How's my little buddy doing? Yeah. You're so cute. You're so cute. I keep a lot of most of my emails in a spreadsheet file, an Excel file, in alphabetical order. And that's usually opened down the bottom, so I just click on it. If I want to email somebody, I go there and I highlight it. I cut and paste, basically. I'll cut it, I'll paste it to the email under send, to send, where I'm sending it to, and then I just send it. So my email address book in Thunderbird has very few in there, because most of them are on a spreadsheet separate from that. Now again, it's more work for me, but I want to try to keep your information as secured as possible, and that's just the way I am. So. And when, like I say, all these free apps, they're not free apps. These free games, think about it. You see a game advertised on TV, and it's free. Do you know how much it costs them to advertise on TV? I do, because I used to advertise on TV. All right? And years ago, it wasn't cheap. It was costing me close to, well, let me see. The first time it was... a 3-day weekend. Friday, no, it wasn't a weekend even, I'm sorry. It was a Monday, a Wednesday, and a Friday. 6 1-minute commercials per day, so it was 18 commercials. What do you call it? The production cost me, I think, see, the numbers are there, but I don't remember in what order. I think it was $8,300 for the production. That's for them to come out with a actor. Hey, babe, When I was advertising the store on cable, do you remember what it was costing for the production and all that? All right. All right. Well, got that pile picked up and thrown over the fence. I put some up on the 360. The John Deere cam. Reboot the computer because it shut down on me. And it's been sitting there for over 3 hours, so I gotta fix that. 3 hours is not enough. Actually, I should just make it not to shut down at all. The way I'll remember to turn it off, because sometimes when it shuts down, it goes into sleep mode and I don't see the monitor lit, and I just go in the house. And not a good idea. And sometimes I'm just running about, so 3 hours goes by quick. So what I do today? Well, what did I do? Well, the wife and I actually. You're not going to notice it because you probably didn't see it. But there was a big old pile of dirt and weeds there that I pulled out of back there, and then there was some more here that I started to pull up, and then I got this started to clean up over here a little bit. Got all the heavy stuff out. Then I power washed down there all the cylinders, or the patio blocks, and in between them all, because it cuts all the grass and weeds out from between them, which is good. So it's starting to gradually come back. The heavy stuff, for most part, is done. Now it's just, a lot of around the edges and things like that. I did do a little bit here. I got to pick that up. Over there, next to those cylinders, there was a pile over there of some wood and things and brush that I just put there. I put it there so if anybody needed a winter home, they can burrow in there and make a home. Meaning the snakes, the squirrels, I don't know if squirrels see them or not, but rabbits for sure. And then I started to break that up. I didn't want to just destroy it completely. I wanted to give, if there's anything there, which I don't think so. It's August, so they're pretty well set. Next month I can clean all the birdhouses. But at that point I can finish that off next couple days. I shook it up enough to where if there's anything in there, they have time to get out. And the same with the other pile over there. I did the same thing with that. So over the next couple days, hopefully by next weekend, I'll have that pile over there out of the way. And there's another pile behind that over there, and I'll have that cleared up. And I'll have most of the weeds down back there. And if I get my ass up to Tractor Supply, I can get a couple of primer balls for my weed whacker and start getting that taken care of. So it's gradually starting to come back. Oh, you wouldn't know. Well, you could, I guess, without having a tractor. You'd be surprised, especially when you're used to it and you start getting older and you don't want to start working your ass off. Again, when you have a bad back and everything else, you kind of pay attention, so you depend on the tractors and things like that to do a lot of your bull work. And when you haven't got it, you just don't want to do anything because you know you're going to feel it later. So, all right, so shut that off, turn this off. It's got to be close to 4 o'clock or so, or maybe even later. I don't know. Let's say, I'm going to say close to 4. 3:53. But other than that, you got a couple of long videos coming, guys. If you don't watch them, I understand, because some of them are just me bullshitting about everything in general, and basically bullshitting about the YouTube bull crap and how I'm not getting any of your notifications that you're posting videos or not. My channel sometimes shows up as not being there, but it's there. I see it. All the videos are there. I think I got 1,400 and something subs, which I greatly appreciate. And then somewhere along the line, the monetizing stopped working, but Justin, Captain Jerk, was telling me something about that. So, I mean, they're telling me I have almost $400 there, but then they're saying they have no way of getting it to me because I don't have a PIN or something. But originally I wasn't into it for the money, nor am I really into it now for the money. But if they're advertising on my channels, they're putting advertising up there, well, then I should get paid for it. So I started putting advertising on, because everything in the past that I've done, they added advertising to it. All right, so for the last, 10 years, 9 years, 8 years, whatever it is, all the videos I've done in the past, up until this past year, they automatically just put ads on them all. So, okay. But again, Justin was explaining some of how they operate and what they do. So many views, so many of this, so much of that. I don't know. You got to be an attorney to keep up with it because they're changing everything, and whatever. I don't know. So I'm just going to go back into it where let me have some fun. If money comes my way, fine. But let me try to get it back so I can see your videos. Otherwise, I'm screwed here. I just can't seem to get to videos. Where did I do with them? Wait a minute. I need it now. Let me turn it on. I didn't put it away, or did I? Maybe I did. If I did, I don't know where I would have because, well, I'm going to worry about that tomorrow. I'm done for now. All right. I ran the power washer because when I did a lot of cleanup, I ended up with a lot of, I still have to clean this up over here. But when I started to do a lot of cleanup around here in general with the tractor, I ended up with a lot of little stones and rocks and pebbles and dirt and everything else on the patio blocks. And I don't want the little fellas to be walking out there and, they're used to stepping on these things, but, keep it as smooth as I can, as far as rock-free, dirt-free, or whatever. So I just chopped into it with the power washer because it also cuts all the weeds out from between them. So I got as far as there. I still have to do about another 10 feet or so. But I said, you know what, that's it for now. I'm done for now. The trash is all out. The power washer is fine. It runs okay. And I got the water filling over here for the boys. I'm glad I remembered that because otherwise I would have left it running their bucket of water. The other day, we have another one of these buckets out next to the back door of the shop. And it's got a hose in it, so I just turned on the water and I forgot about it. Hour and a half it was running. So that kind of cleaned out. So, and then I started cutting an edge here. So now I just got to get some soil from the other side, drop it here and get this seeded and worry about it later.